We're going to go live. It looks like it's in there. The meeting is live stream. Awesome. Well, I am super excited for this live Zoom. And not only we're this all throughout the world, this is our Maximizing Your Ketone call. I'm going to kick it over to a couple special guests. But before I do that, I just want to introduce myself. I'm Dustin Schaefer. I've been with Pruvit since the last 8 years. And what makes this call so special is that you're going to hear a lot about how to use our products. You're going to you hear a lot about the power of these ketones. But I just want to remind everybody that this is a product that puts you in a state of ketosis in less than an hour, which is a huge breakthrough. And I was just telling everybody earlier that pregnant women, while they're pregnant, they actually produce ketones, even not on a ketogenic diet, so that it can help a brain or the development of a fetus. Babies actually get ketones through breast milk, through medium chain fatty acids for the development of their brain and how their body operates. So this is really cool, but we're going to talk about you today. And to do that, I'm going to kick it over to two amazing individuals that I've gotten to work with now over the last 8 years, Rob for 8 years, Lynn for almost 6 years. And I can't wait for them to take you through how to maximize these ketones, how to maximize the results you're looking for. And if we have time, we might save some questions for the end. So with that said and done, I'm going to kick it over to your host, the one and only Miss Lynn Knowles. If you don't mind, go ahead and give her some hearts and loves in the comments and say hi to Lynn. So Lynn, it's all yours.
Hey, Dustin, thank you so much. The one and only. I love that you say it's the one and only. Yeah, nobody's duplicatable, but we like to think that we can be. Hi, everyone. It's nice to meet you all. I'm Lynn Knowles. I live in Central Florida in a little town called Tarpon Springs. And like Dustin said, I've been drinking ketones and I've been sharing them now coming up on 6 years. And it's just been like really this sounds so cliche, but it's really just been a life changer for me. When I found ketones, or when they were introduced to me, I was about 55 years old. You guys do the math. If you're drinking ketones, it'll be really easy to do the math. But I've been drinking them now. And when I first started, I was just like going through that time of my life, ladies, when I was 55 years old. I was an empty nester. I didn't really have any direction in life. I'd been following and supporting my husband through his career for years. And I found myself bored, tired, like I said, no purpose in life. I didn't feel my best. I had a lot of brain fog. I would walk into a room and not remember what I went in there for. And then I'd find myself walking into the pantry and I wasn't even hungry, but finding something to eat. And, I didn't sleep well, and the list goes on and on. When my friend introduced me to ketones, she introduced them to me because she knew that they were helping her. And she passionately told me that I needed to drink them. And she handed me a pack and I took it home and it laid on my counter for a couple of days. And then I got up and said, what do I have to lose? So I drank this amazing thing that we call Keto Nat. And I went about my day and I thought, well, I didn't really feel anything. I don't know what this is all about. But that night when I went to have dinner, y'all, I was not hungry. Food really was not a big thing on my list that night. I looked at it and kind of went, eh. And my husband said, I remember him saying to me, you always eat a really big dinner. Are you okay? And I said, I don't know. I'm just not hungry. But I continued to drink these ketones for several days and I felt brain fog lifting right away. I felt this energy and I told someone, I feel like I'm 25 again. And isn't that incredible at this point of that point in my life anyway, to be able to say that. So we have this great product and we have some supportive products that go with it that are literally incredible. They're proprietary. You can't get them anywhere else. And I just knew that I wanted to be a part of something bigger than myself. And I saw the big picture of how we could go impact the world, how we could go have a ripple effect and really change a lot of lives. And I said, you know what? I'm in. I'm all in. So here I sit today, almost 6 years later, with this amazing man that's going to join me tonight, Coach Rob DeBoer, who's been here actually since Pruvit even had a name. And we're going to talk a second about that. Coach Rob DeBoer is someone that is a former college and professional athlete. he has decades, and we're going to say decades in the fitness and nutrition industry. Someone who I really know is a go-to, knows a lot about all of these products. In fact, has had and played a hand in of the development of some of the things like our 60-hour reboot and some other things. But hey, Rob, are you out there? I think I saw you earlier, but Rob is the reason we're called Prove It, you guys. He came up with that name and was so kind to give it to us. So we talk about Prove It, Rob, and I always think about you. And I think about the first time I met you and you said something like, hey, you want to drop 20 pounds? Let's go prove it. Hey, you want to be a better mom or a better dad? Let's go prove it. So I always think about you when I say the name Prove It, and it's great to have you here tonight. I'd love for you to tell us a little bit about the star of the show, I call it, our #1 product, Keto OS Nat, and let us know why it's so important to be in ketosis and why this product is something that everyone needs to drink.
For sure. Thank you so much, Lynn, and Dustin. Thanks for inviting me on. It's an honor. It's a pleasure. It's a privilege to speak to the Prove It community. There's a lot of great information we could share with you. And I feel my calling or gift is taking the scientific and making it simple. As Lynn mentioned, we've got an incredible track record over the last 8 years. This is no longer on trial. It's a very real product that I think has a very real application no matter what level of health, fitness, nutrition you're at. Whether you're an athlete or you're someone sedentary, whether you're a young player or, Lynn, you and I are focused on aging well. I'm 52. I feel as though I look and perform better than when I was 42. Like literally over the last 10 years, aging well has become a priority. So I want you to think for a moment, what is this? Why does it matter? And why might it make a difference? Lynn, I always associate the 8 words. People come to Prove It for a lot of different reasons. I think we all want to age well. And the formula for aging well is not only keeping, but also creating lean body mass and becoming an efficient, effective fat burner. A lot of people come here to lose weight, and that's great. But if we could unpack that a little bit and shift your body composition and make it better, now you're talking my language. And so for all of the skeptics tonight, I invite you to join me because that's who I was. I had all the questions that were obvious and unanswered. But to make this very simple, understand we've got a product. Lynn mentioned it. We've mastered the flavor game. I mean, this is green apple, gummy bear, true passion, which tastes, by the way, childhood tang. I'm aging myself. If you know what tang is, you know what this is. Prickly pear, never thought I would like it. It's one of my favorites. In other words, I have a packet of powder that I mix in a bottle of water and I drink it every single morning. Why do I do that? Because of 8 words that it provides, maybe 8 boxes that it checks. Number 1, mood and mindset. I don't know about you, Lynn, we make better decisions when, we're in a better mood. As great as the flavors are, I teach all of my customers and followers and anyone that'll listen, I slam my ketones. The faster I can put that patented powder in my body, the faster my brain turns on. So mood and mindset, imagine if we could turn that on for the better tomorrow when you drink this product. Next, appetite and craving control. If I have control over appetite and cravings, I just make better decisions nutritionally. Energy and endurance, the next 2 words. Hey, you give me more energy and endurance, I make better decisions when it comes to activity and movement and maybe going to the gym. And then the last 2 words I like to talk about are probably, in my opinion, some of the most important: muscle preservation and protection. Why? This isn't a physical feeling. Look, when you drink this product tomorrow, or if you've tried this product, you're going to notice your mood and mindset shift. You're going to notice, wait a minute, like Lynn said, I'm just eating less. I don't know why. I love carbs, and it's easier to say no to things that I ordinarily say yes to. I don't need the afternoon nap. I wouldn't say this is spike and crash energy. It's more endurance. But all of those are physical feelings. And I would argue one of the greatest benefits of this product, and it sounds like an ultimate sales pitch, it's something you're not going to notice. It's something you're not going to physically feel. I don't know what it feels like to preserve muscle, but I know it's so critically important to losing fat and aging well. So Imagine if you could check those boxes: mood, mindset, energy, endurance, appetite, craving, control, and then muscle preservation, protection, every single morning when you wake up. That's why we've been drinking this. That's why we've been sharing this. That's why we're telling this to anybody who will listen.
Rob, so good. So good. You are spot on, my friend. And, you know, I love that you gave us a great explanation about why we should be drinking ketones and why everyone should be. Let's talk about how the people that are here that are drinking ketones, or maybe the ones that are thinking about drinking ketones, how can they maximize this product to work for them? What's the best way to drink this? I know it's not a cookie cutter thing. It's something that we can drink at different times of the day. Can you dive in a little bit to that? Because these people here want to know how to drink this and maximize it.
Yeah. And, you know, Lynn, I think the message, not necessarily industry-wide, but even within Prove It, has changed. Some of the dynamics have changed for the better. Like the more we learn, the more we know, the more we know, the more we learn. So I would say this: number one, consistency. We don't want someone to try this product for a day or two and make their decision. If I had my way, I would encourage everyone, hey, buy a box, drink it every day. Number one. Number two, I kind of subscribe to this philosophy. Hey, the only diet that works is the one you'll do. For some, it's vegan, vegetarian, carnivore. People like keto, high fat, low carb. I'm more lower fat, clean carb, and prioritize protein. Here's what I know. Ketones control the controls that control your body composition. Let me say that again. Ketones control the controls that control your body composition. And let me say it simply this way. Ketones control the quality and quantity of food you eat. Think about that. If someone just said, hey, what does this do? It will control the quality of food you eat and the quantity of food you eat. You start drinking this, it's just easier to make better decisions, number one. Number two, ketones maximize and make the most of the energy you expend. In other words, they preserve muscle. They give you energy to do more. So we just focused on both sides of what's called the energy balance. You know, a lot of people don't like to talk about calories in versus calories out, and it results in this. At the end of the day, the only diet that works is the one you'll do. What if all of us followed this simple practice? Ketones daily, prioritize protein, control calories by controlling carbs and fats. Doesn't mean fat's bad, doesn't mean carbs are bad, but what if we controlled calories by controlling the consumption of carbs and fats? And what if we just started to move daily? If I could add one thing, hey, send a signal from your body to your brain that your muscles are necessary and needed. You know, you don't have to go get a gym membership, but just, hey, do some body weight squats, do some push-ups, some planks. So what if all of us could agree, hey, I'm going to drink this for the next 30 days. I'm going to prioritize protein. I'm going to control total calories in with the ketones by controlling my carb and fat intake. I'm going to move regularly, and I'm going to find a way to send a signal from the brain, from the body to the brain, that my muscles are necessary and needed. If everybody does that, you will jump back on this call. You will jump on this Zoom. You will thank us, because that is a proven way to maximize your ketone experience.
Awesome. Rob, so I know that when I got started, there were I had a lot of questions, right? It was like, when do I drink it during the day? The other things I think that I had a big question about, and I get all the time, is like, what should I eat? We're talking about prioritizing protein. You know, we know that that can be any kind of animal meat. It can also be, you know, we can get some from dairy and things like that. Can you dive in a little bit about how we can prioritize protein? What should we eat?
Yeah, you know, Lynn, I don't want to step on any toes, because I really do believe the only diet that works is the one you'll do. There are people that subscribe to intermittent fasting. I subscribe to extended fasting on a monthly basis. We call it a reboot. We've got one coming up. We have an iFast program that helps people control calories coming in so they'll maximize energy going out. The common denominator is this. I wish we could change the narrative and we no longer focus on weight loss. What if we even changed terminology and said, hey, let's win muscle. If you win muscle, you will lose fat. If you will win muscle, you will lose fat. Now, people might be thinking, wait a minute, I didn't sign up for this. I'm not looking to join a gym and this guy, and he's got these muscles and he's talking about muscle making. No. Here's what I'm talking about. What if we could age really well? How about this formula? Drink ketones every day when you would be tired, cranky, crabby, and hungry. Like, just think of it as a way to start their day. Hey, not everybody eats breakfast, but we want to improve our mood and mindset earlier than later in the day. So what if we woke up and we drank our ketones to start our day? For me, I prefer adding in some protein, some egg whites. You know, I'm old fashioned, egg whites and oatmeal. There's some people that are whole eggs and bacon and they stick to lower carb. That's okay. We're not here to change everything about you. We're here to add techniques that will help you maximize your ketone journey. So we're going to drink ketones every single morning. I would argue there is an exponential benefit by doing them twice a day. So if we did them every morning and then say every afternoon, Lynn, I'll tell you my schedule. You know, one of the best ways I've taught people is, here's what I do. Someone texted me, I kid you not, this morning and said, hey, it's been a few hours. I drank some protein. I had some ketones. I said, look, I start every day with a scoop of protein and drink a packet of ketones. I'm good for the next 4 or 5 hours. I go to the gym and train. I didn't eat until, gosh, maybe 1:30, 2 o'clock today. You know, we could call it protein sparing intermittent fasting. I do a little bit of protein every morning, and then I eat a meal. And then in the afternoon, I have another pack of my Ketone or Keto Pro, one of my other favorite proteins, ketone products from Prove It. And then I eat a pretty good supper, or here in Canada, they call it supper, not dinner. So what if we had a couple of pretty good meals, a couple of servings of ketones, and then if we got hungry or we wanted a snack, we prioritize protein. You know, one of the best tips I could give you is never have carbs or fat alone on their own. Always pair them with protein. So if you have something higher in fat, make sure it's really low carb, but include protein. If you have something that's got more carbs, but make sure it's really low fat, but pair it with protein. So if someone rewound what I just said and you followed those basic tips, hey, ketones once or twice a day, Ketone, Keto Pro, focus and prioritize protein, control calories by controlling energy or food or protein or calorie consumption, couple of good meals. You know, the reason I don't even use meals, people think big, snacks, they think small. Let's just call it what your body calls it. Hey, have a couple of energy in episodes. Hey, go have some energy in. What do you mean? Go have a good salad with some grilled chicken or some steak, or go have a taco salad and try to keep it lean and clean and focus on getting something green. You know, we don't take any dogmatic views. Hey, you can't have fruit. You can't have this. No. We want ketones and Ketone and our product suite to help you control those calories, so you'll determine the diet you'll do, and that ultimately is the one that'll work for you.
Awesome. You know, I hear you, what you're saying with the food choices. And I think that, you know, if you have specific questions, you can always reach out to the person that introduced you to ketones, and we can help you kind of guide you through your day as to what you may or may not want to have. But, you know, Rob mentioned our Keto OS Pro, and I think this is something that is really worth talking about because, you know, Rob, I'm 60 years old. And when I first started ketones, I had very little muscle mass on my body. And I started drinking this amazing product. And I have really put on a lot of muscle. And that's something that we all need as we're aging. And if you're on the Zoom and you're in your 20s or your 30s, look, we've got a few years on you, but I wish I would have known about this back then, because it probably would have, you know, I probably could have been a lot healthier throughout those younger years that I had. Talk a little bit about Keto OS Pro. I like to drink this in the afternoon. I like to add a little almond milk to it, shake it up, maybe even make a little smoothie in my blender with this. You can do it with water, I know. And sometimes if I'm like, want that snacky snack at night, wow, this chocolate one is amazing. And I might have another serving of that before I go to bed. What do you have to say about that, Rob?
Yeah, so Keto Pro is a really unique product because it was originally designed for people that were following ketogenic diets. But then you've got people like me who, you know what, you just love the science behind it. It's a ketone infused protein shake. You know, a lot of people get misguided. They say, well, it doesn't have much protein. It's got the amount of protein needed and necessary to initiate what's called muscle protein synthesis. Do you need more? Possibly, potentially, probably. At the end of the day, the Keto Pro, number one, it tastes great. Number two, it includes some healthy fats. Number three, it includes some protein. And number four, it still has our patented formulation of ketones. So it's one of those, I typically start every day with a keto nat. I typically reach for either a keto nat or a Keto Pro in the afternoon, sometime between, say, my energy in at lunch, or what people would call lunch and supper, or lunch and dinner in between, is when I'll grab my Pro. And by the way, banana cream, if you're a banana person, it's one of my favorites. The chocolate swirl is good. We've got the original, we have a product. I'm aging myself, but remember the push-up, in the paper towel tube when we were kids, the orange push-up. We've got one called Orange Dream or Orange Cream that's delicious. Like, you mix that with almond milk, or I use lactose-free non-fat dairy milk. You mix that and it really satisfies and settles you for multiple hours. So it's controlling calories, providing sound nutrition. Multiple patents protect our formulations, and it just makes dieting, quote unquote, dieting, realistic, because I don't believe success is success if it's not something you can sustain. And I tell people, variety always leads to sustainability. We've got different products, we've got different flavors, we've got different applications. You just mentioned the chocolate Pro. I've made chocolate pudding with that. So there are a lot of applications. One of the things I love, Lynn, about this call, Maximize Your Ketone Experience, or this Zoom, is we've got a community that thrives on the ideas of others. It's just not a few at the top that's, doing all the preaching and teaching. We have a community of people with incredible gifts when it comes to recipes, workouts, mindset, movement, applications of how to use your ketones and maximize them, personal experiences and stories. So it's a special company with special products, and hopefully there's a special place for you to fit in and do what you like to do.
Yeah, there's a place for everyone here. There's a big table with a lot of seats waiting for you. Rob, you had a very big part you played in with this 60-hour reboot, and this is a new upgraded version of it. Listen, we've talked a little bit about intermittent fasting. We've talked a little bit about, we do have an iFast kit that we can talk a little bit about. This iFast kit is something that helps people kind of slide into intermittent fasting. And that is the utilization of some of our Keto OS Pros. And we've got some other products in there, our amazing Mitoplex. But this 60-hour reboot is something that I utilize almost every month. It is so good to reset your metabolism. There's a lot of products in here, Rob. Let's just go over this quickly because, look, you may not have been introduced to a 60-hour reboot. Let's introduce you to it. And if you're using it, maybe drop a comment or two and let us know how it's working for you. But Rob, tell me a little bit about this 60-hour reboot.
Yeah, this was a program we were honored and privileged to help develop. Gosh, I don't know, has it been 4 or 5 years already? I will say this, Prove It was on the front end of not only the ketone conversation, but then fasting soon followed. Prove It was at the forefront of all of these conversations. And the reason the fasting conversation came up, and it was something I was interested in and why I was able to participate in the presentation of the reboot, was fasting is a good thing. It accomplishes 3 things for us: digestive rest, metabolic reset, and mental awareness. In other words, the reason I was never for fasting, gosh, I try really hard to, keep muscle. I don't want to lose muscle. And I know what it means when you go days without chewable food. I mean, it's just not going to work for someone that's a lifter and an athlete and someone that does strongman and bodybuilding and all the things that I was doing. Well, what I realized were ketones very instrumental at preserving muscle. So we kind of put them to the test, and it started out as this water fast where it was just ketones, water, and it evolved into this kit. I want people to think of it this way. We don't reverse the mileage on our cars or trucks. But man, if we service the engine, if we rotate the tires, if we perform, ongoing regular oil changes, there's nobody that wouldn't understand. You don't need to be a mechanic to understand that that truck's going to last longer and it's going to keep its value. That's what the reboot is. And that's why we do it every single month. Believe it or not, we have people that have done this every month for the last, 3, 4, 5 years that it's been in play. So much so, Prove It is the leader online, the largest social media gathering, I would argue, of monthly extended fasting. We go from a Sunday night to a Wednesday morning. We've got all the parts and pieces for you to follow along. We've got the community support. It's something that we do every single month because it's the equivalent of, monthly maintenance on your car, truck, engine, etc. People seem to use that analogy and they get it.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome. And you mentioned that we do it like from a Sunday to a Monday. We start on a Sunday evening. That's going to be this Sunday, the 23rd, I think it is, if I'm correct. We're going to be doing the next community reboot. So that gives you time to get back with the person that invited you or get on your account and grab a reboot. Join us this Sunday. The Drink Ketones Daily page, we can lead you to that if you're not already a part of, and do the kickoff with us on Sunday and go through it with coaching, guidance, and support. It's truly something that I just can't be without anymore. It makes me feel so good, so strong, and so clear, and it gives my gut a chance to rest. So thank you, Rob, for talking about that. Listen, I know that we're coming up here on, close to 30 minutes, but Rob, we have something else, and look, we don't want to overwhelm you all. We want to try to keep it simple, but I would be remiss if I did not mention that we do have a thing that we're doing right now called the Summer Slim Down. And that Summer Slim Down is drinking ketones every day. We're going to use our iFast kit 5 days out of the month. We're going to be doing an intermittent fasting, and this is assisted, like I said, with the protein. And we've got some other products in here that are amazing that are going to help you get through your day and feel amazing. We also have the reboot in that kit, and it is at a really remarkable price right now. And if you haven't tried or found out about the Summer Slim Down, I highly recommend you reach out to the person again that invited you and learn a little bit about it, because I'm hearing stories. I've had people that are doing this and they are losing 10, 15, and we talk about fat loss, right? Pounds of fat loss in 1 month. They're feeling incredible. And I just think that it's something that we all need to take a look at. Rob, do you really like the Summer Slim Down? And tell me a little bit about it from your perspective.
Yeah, Lynn, I think it's great because I have this saying, if you can, you must. In other words, if you can make reasonable decisions, you must, because inevitably the 4th of July week's going to come up, or this graduation party. Like, summer is a time when people celebrate. How many of us have ever really considered, we want to slim down before summer, but in the midst of summer, you know what? That's when we might pack on a few pounds leading into the winter. And I would argue this is an incredible system to just keep you on track. Look, I say it all the time. The only diet that works is the one you'll do. This Summer Slim Down is something that you can follow and see success over the course of the summer. And probably most importantly, the science is there to support it. So between the community doing this with you, people having questions, people getting the assistance from the science, like, people don't realize how well protected with patents some of these product formulations are. People don't realize how long these products have been in play. This is an 8-year-old company. It's not on trial, and it's attracted some of the world-class, minds when it comes to ketogenic, when it comes to variables that are associated with effective dieting and long-term sustainability and success. So we've got it figured out. If someone wants to join us, you will have success. And I would argue you'll learn it's just not success that you have temporarily, it's success you can sustain. The last thing I'll say is this: the worst 3 words someone like me could ever hear as a coach is and then some. And we all know the person, hey, I lost weight, I felt great, I gained it all back, and then some. What we do with Prove It is we make sure we're making and maximizing the body to be energy expensive. This isn't a weight loss program. This is a body comp transformation system. In other words, we target fat loss, we keep and create muscle, and that is the formula for aging well. It's what we do, and we've done it very well.
Very, very well. Listen, everyone, I am so happy that you joined us tonight. Thank you, Rob, for all the great information. We want to be mindful of your time. This call is something that we put together so everyone has an opportunity to learn a little bit more about how they can maximize their personal experience with ketones. We're all a little bit different. But if you heard something here great tonight, go share it with the person that invited you. Know that we will be back here next Monday doing another call. So if you have friends you want to invite, please do. It's been a great pleasure talking to you all tonight, and for Coach Rob and for Dustin and Isabella. This is Lynn Knowles, and we are going to call this one a wrap. Everyone have a great night. Appreciate you.